An unparalleled ensemble of 56 belfries in Belgium and France has been designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It recognizes an architectural manifestation in historic Flanders and neighboring regions of emerging civic independence from feudal and religious influences, leading to a degree of local democracy of great significance in the history of humankind. Built between the 11th and 17th centuries, the belfries showcase the Roman, Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque styles of architecture. They are highly significant tokens of the winning of civil liberties. While Italian, German, and English towns mainly opted to build town halls, in part of northwestern Europe, greater emphasis was placed on building belfries. The Scheppenhuis, or Alderman's House in Aalst, Belgium, is a former city hall, one of the oldest in the Low Countries. Its beautiful belfry from 1470 with its carillon of 52 bells and flamboyant Gothic pinnacles juts out to the right of the Scheppenhuis's main facade. Begun in 1225 and now the oldest building of its kind in the Netherlands, the belfry dominates the Grote Markt. Compared with the keep, the symbol of the seigneurs, and the bell tower, symbol of the church, the belfry, the third tower in the urban landscape, symbolizes the power of the alderman. Over the centuries, they came to represent the influence and wealth of the towns. The belfry's interior houses a small museum. The towering Cathedral of Our Lady in Antwerp is the largest church in Benelux and a masterpiece of the Gothic Brabant. Only one of the planned 5 towers was completed, but at 125 meters, it is the tallest church spire in the Low Countries. The cathedral's portal features various statues, including that of the missionary Saint Willibrordus, thought to have spent time in Antwerp in the 7th century. Begun in 1352 and completed by about 1520, the Cathedral of Our Lady stands on the site of a 10th century chapel dedicated to the Virgin and a later Romanesque church. In addition to civic belfries or buildings such as city halls that may have rendered a similar service, the category includes religious buildings that were also used as watchtowers or alarm bell towers like St. Rombold's Tower in Mechelen. Mechelen can be easily recognized even from a great distance by the truncated silhouette of St. Rombold's Tower. This unfinished monument, which rises approximately 100 meters high, dominates the whole area. The cathedral associated with the belfry was built in honor of St. Rombold, a 7th century Irish missionary, whose remains are believed to be buried inside the cathedral. The nave is 94 meters long, 12 meters wide, and 27 meters high, dimensions typical of churches in the Gothic style. Columns in the nave are decorated with statues of the apostles sculpted in 1774. The splendid main altar in polychrome marble is the work of Lucas Federbe from 1665. The beautifully sculpted Rococo wooden pulpit is the work of Van der Voort the Elder from 1721. It features a fig tree with Adam and Eve, along with a variety of carved images of animals both good, the pelican, and bad, the snake. The heart of the town of Dendermonde is the Grote Markt, or Market Square, a fine collection of buildings that includes the town hall. The actual city hall of Dendermonde is an early Gothic building with a bell tower. The belfry, symbol of civic liberties, was built between 1337 and 1350. The carillon in the remarkable spire consisted of 49 bells. The Stadhuis or Town Hall was built between 1336 and 1350 as a cloth hall and converted in 1600. Almost completely destroyed by fire in 1914, only the belfry with its carillon escaped damage. Rebuilding took place in the 1920s. Its rooms contain some interesting paintings, including works by the painter Jan Verhaes, originally from Dendermonde. Armentières, built on the banks of the River Lys, has been famous for cloth making since the 11th century, but was heavily damaged in the First World War. The architect Louis-Marie Cordonnier was commissioned to design the new town in the early 1930s and was responsible for various buildings, including the new town hall, designed in the style of the Flemish Renaissance, with interior stained glass windows and belfry, whose chimes relay the air of La Madelon. He also designed the Church of Saint Vaast in the Roman Byzantine style. Most of these belfries were built in several stages, often reflecting the varying economic fortunes of the town. Many of these historic belfries were destroyed during the First World War. A significant number of them have since been rebuilt as exact replicas of the original, demonstrating their symbolic importance in evoking the permanence of the civic sphere. Armentières' ornate Gothic-style belfry is famous for its carillon of 62 bells, dating back to the 14th century. The French city of Lille is graced with 2 belfries, the newer of which is the belfry of the town hall. The belfry, inaugurated in 1932, was the first building in France over 100 meters high to be made of reinforced concrete. Designed by the architect Émile Dubuisson, the town hall's size and the ingenious nature of its layout give it an impressive appearance. Built between 1924 and 1932 under Mayor Roger Salengro, it combines the heritage of local traditions, such as triangular gables, use of different colors, and mullioned windows, with modern elements such as the use of concrete for the structure and decor. The building is arranged around a 143-meter-long gallery, divided into 3 aisles by 2 series of columns decorated with Art Nouveau motifs. The building's decor reflects the influence of the Art Deco style. The architect emphasized the essential role of concrete in the building's construction. The belfry of the French town of Luce is a square tower built as a projecting part of the town hall facade. It is said that the clock that adorns the belfry was for a long time rather unorthodox in its timekeeping. That does not prevent St. Nicholas from being on time every year with his donkey, and while he hands out his goodies, the mayor tears up the list of naughty children from his balcony. This belfry was the first in a long series of works designed by Louis-Marie Cordonnier, a local architect of international renown. During his long career, he created an instantly recognizable style, combining traditional regional architecture with a revisited form of Flemish workmanship. The Luce belfry is the epitome of this. In the heart of Beloeil, the town hall and its belfry constitute a true architectural colossus built in the neo-Flemish style characterized by the alternation of the stone, brick, and slate. The belfry is a fascinating masterpiece based on a design fusing classic ecclesiastical styles with local building techniques. Together with its base, a Gothic-style room from the 18th century, it is classified an historic building. Its facade is adorned with an elegant balcony. Beaulieu's prosperity was due in part to its membership in the famous Hans of London Commercial Association. The history of the belfry merges with that of Flanders in 1678, when it was annexed to Flanders. The city spreads out along the side of a hill, typical of the towns of the region. Belial was repeatedly destroyed by fires throughout its history, caused both by the imprudence of its inhabitants and as retribution by its enemies. Destroyed 8 times, the oldest town in Flanders always managed to rise from its ruins, lovelier than ever, and its third belfry is evidence of its will to live. The town hall has 3 main stories, lined with pointed Gothic windows on the 3 sides visible from the markt. Statues and canopied niches are distributed all over the building. In front of the town hall stands the majestic Church of St. Peter. Both buildings were constructed in the Gothic style, although the church is less elegant and flamboyant than its civic counterpart. It was built on the site of a smaller church in the Romanesque style. Construction of the church was begun in 1425 and completed in 1497. The church is worth visiting for its elaborate interior decoration, including a beautiful rood loft from 1488, above which hangs a triumphal crucifix from about 1500. Various renovation campaigns were undertaken during the 19th and 20th centuries. The church suffered considerable damage during the bombing raids of the Second World War in 1944. Between 1945 and 1963, the Church of St. Peter was partially rebuilt. Splendid historic buildings ring the town square of Leer in Flemish Belgium, including the Belfry Tower, which stands next to the town hall. Leer's belfry became the symbol of the city's power and autonomy. The tower itself dates from 1369, by which point the city of Leer had become rather prosperous. Today, the Belfry Tower is the surviving vestige of what used to be the Cloth Hall, symbol of the economic expansion of the medieval corporation of cloth workers. The town hall was built in the Rococo style between 1740 and 1745 by the architect von Bauscheit. The Rococo style continues inside the building as exemplified by its extremely elegant staircase. It also houses an art collection, including several paintings by Isidor Upsommer, one of the most famous local painters. UNESCO included 32 towers on its list of belfries of Flanders and Wallonia in 1999. In 2005, the Belfry of Gembloux in the Walloon region of Belgium and 23 belfries from the Nord-Pas-de-Calais and Picardy regions in northern France were added to the list.